Day 6 of the 2026 World Cup marks a specific shift in the tournament's gravity. Today, for the first time, both finalists from the previous edition, France and Argentina, make their tournament debut. We are watching the reigning champions and the 2022 runners-up step onto the pitch to begin their campaigns in the same 12-hour window. While the opening matches establish the initial group standings, today introduces a specific set of challenges. Senegal, Iraq, and Algeria each bring tactical structures that have historically troubled elite teams, forcing these favorites to justify their rankings immediately. France enters Group I as the statistical favorite, but a slow start against Senegal is the exact scenario they have to avoid. There is a precedent for this matchup. In the opening game of the 2002 tournament, Senegal defeated the defending French squad in a 1-0 victory that remains one of the tournament's most cited upsets. This current Senegalese roster is built on recent success, having won the African Cup of Nations in 2021 and returning to the final in 2025. They arrive as a cohesive, battle-tested unit. Tactically, Senegal presents a specific challenge for the French defense. France often maintains a high defensive line, leaving space that can be exploited by the transition speed of attackers like Nicolas Jackson. Senegal's physical style is likely to disrupt France's rhythm early on. While the first half may remain scoreless, Kylian Mbappe's ability to create chances in tight spaces should be the deciding factor in a projected 2-1 France victory. If Senegal scores first, it forces France to abandon their structured build-up, challenging the perceived gap between the world's top-ranked teams and the rest of the field. At Gillette Stadium, Norway begins their campaign centered around the productivity of Erling Haaland, who dominated their qualifying run. They face an Iraqi side making its first World Cup appearance in 40 years. Iraq's qualification wasn't a matter of luck. It was built on a gritty, organized defensive identity. Iraq enters the tournament with a formidable record, having won or drawn 11 of their last 13 international matches. This diagram illustrates Iraq's survival strategy. They utilize a disciplined blue defensive block to sit deep, absorbing the pressure from Norway's vertical attacking lines. When Norway pushes forward, the blue defenders detach to double-mark the central striker. Without high-level creative passing to bypass this bottleneck, Norway risks seeing their primary scoring threat completely neutralized. The physical demand of this defensive block usually leads to fatigue in the final 30 minutes. Once the deadlock is broken, Norway's size advantage could lead to a 3-0 win, likely involving a Haaland header. For Norway to sustain this momentum, Martin Odegaard must dictate the tempo from the midfield. If the attack relies solely on Haaland, organized defenses will eventually find a way to isolate him. This match serves as a test of Norway's depth. It will reveal if they are a multi-dimensional contender or a team that can be dismantled by a well-drilled low block. The final match of Day 6 takes place in Kansas City, where Argentina begins the defense of their world title. This match marks the start of what is likely Lionel Messi's final World Cup appearance, adding significant emotional weight to the reigning champions' debut. They are met by an Algerian team that functions as a popular dark horse. They boast a squad of European-based players and will benefit from a strong local fan presence in Missouri. Argentina's preparation involved fewer matches against high-ranking opponents, and their defense has shown occasional vulnerability when facing rapid transitions on the wings. While Algeria's speed will cause problems, Argentina's veteran composure typically thrives in high-pressure openers. A 2-1 victory for the champions is the likely outcome, driven by Messi's playmaking. However, Algeria possesses the squad depth and organization necessary to challenge for the top spot in Group J. If Argentina fails to secure a result tonight, their path through the group stage becomes significantly more complicated, turning every subsequent match into a must-win scenario. Day 6 shows that while top-tier teams possess the individual stars, the tactical gap in international football continues to narrow. Which of today's underdogs is most likely to disrupt the group standings? Tell us in the comments if you're watching Senegal, Iraq, or Algeria. Subscribe for our daily coverage of the 2026 World Cup. Tomorrow, we break down Day 7, featuring the first appearances of England and Portugal. Today's results will determine if the favorites are as dominant as their rankings suggest, or if the modern tactical weapons of the underdogs can reset the expectations for the rest of the tournament.